In 2025, new leaked images from NASA reveal something terrifying on the dark side of the moon, but they never told the public. What are these images, and what could be so scary about them? Is it some kind of new discovery, or maybe something else? Let's find out in today's video. The year is 2025. You've been hearing rumors about the dark side of the moon for years. Stories of unsettling sounds, strange lights, and even alien activity. But no one really knows what's up there. That is, until now. You see, NASA recently released footage of the far side of the moon that was taken during the Apollo missions, and it reveals something shocking. Something they never told us. As we zoom in on the surface of the moon, we can see all sorts of strange things. There are mountains, craters, valleys, and even what looks like a huge face staring back at us. But that's not all. There are also these strange black spots scattered all over the surface. At first glance, they just look like rocks. But when we take a closer look, we start to notice something disturbing. These black spots aren't rocks at all. They're actually buildings. Yes, that's right. We're looking at real evidence of alien life on our moon. Or are we? Maybe these buildings are actually something else entirely, something that would make NASA want to hide them from us. So why exactly does NASA want to keep this a secret? And what are they really hiding from us? Well, let's keep watching and find out. But before we go any further, I want you to do me a favor. All I ask is that you hit that like button below. Doing this will help support us and allow us to continue making videos just like this one. Thanks for doing that. Now let's get back to the video. Now I know what you're thinking. The moon landings were fake. It's all just a big hoax made up by the government to fool us. Well, that may be true, but if the moon landings were fake, then who put these buildings there? Were the aliens there before us, or did they come after? And if so, then why are they hiding them from us? We have to think about this logically. If NASA wanted to fake the moon landings, why would they bother adding these strange black spots to the images? It makes no sense. Plus, there's way too much evidence pointing to the fact that the moon landings really did happen. For example, we have all of these images and video footage taken by the astronauts themselves. And we also have physical evidence like the lunar modules and the flags that were left behind on the moon. Not to mention all of the scientific data that we've gathered from the moon. Since then, it just doesn't add up. So what are these strange black spots on the moon, and why is NASA hiding them from us? Only time will tell. Speaking of time, it's already been 5 years since we lost our beloved Queen. But what if she wasn't really gone? What if she's still alive and hiding out on the dark side of the moon? Now, I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. First of all, the Queen has always been fascinated by space. She even had her own star map showing her favorite constellations. Not to mention that she was the first British monarch to visit an alien planet. Okay, so maybe that last one isn't so relevant. But the point is that the Queen loves space. Plus, we all saw how much she struggled towards the end of her reign. Maybe she was just exhausted and needed a break. A long vacation, if you will. So she faked her death and went into hiding. But where would she go? Somewhere far away from prying eyes. Somewhere no one would ever think to look. The dark side of the moon. It's remote, it's secluded, and it's full of mysteries. It's the perfect place for the Queen to lay low. But why didn't she just take a few loyal staff members with her? Would it really be that hard to keep her company? Well, maybe, but there's another explanation. Perhaps the Queen wasn't alone when she fled to the moon. Maybe she took all of the staff members with her. After all, it's not like anyone would be able to stop her. And if the staff members were willing to help her fake her death, then they probably wouldn't mind living on the moon either. So why does NASA keep lying to us about this? Why don't they come clean and tell us that the Queen is really alive and well on the moon? Well, maybe it's because they don't want to cause panic among the populace. You can't just tell people that their Queen is alive and living on the moon without causing some chaos. Not to mention that there would be all sorts of legal complications involved in declaring the Queen dead. And let's not forget about the embarrassment. The royal family would be mortified if word got out that the Queen had faked her death. It would be a scandal of epic proportions. That's why NASA and the rest of the government are working hard to keep the Queen's whereabouts a secret. They don't want to upset the apple cart. They're hoping that eventually we'll all forget about her and move on. But in the meantime, they need to keep the lid on this little secret. There are all sorts of strange and unexplained phenomena that have been witnessed on the moon. Strange lights in the sky, mysterious objects moving across the surface, even strange sounds that seem to echo across the barren landscape. But perhaps the most perplexing of all these phenomena are the structures. Yes, there are definitely strange structures on the moon. In fact, they've been there for years. NASA has known about them for decades, but they've done their best to cover them up. Why? Well, because they're afraid of what will happen if the world finds out that the moon is not the lifeless, barren rock that we thought it was, that it's actually hiding all sorts of secrets that could change the course of human history. If the world knew that there were structures on the moon, it would cause chaos. Governments would collapse, religions would crumble, and science would be thrown out the window. That's why NASA is keeping these structures a secret. They're afraid of what will happen when the truth comes out. The images show a huge dome-like structure with what looks like a massive entrance. There are also other smaller structures surrounding the main one. What are these structures? Who built them, and what are they being used for? Well, unfortunately, we may never know the answers to these questions. NASA has classified all of the images and information regarding these structures, and anyone who tries to find out more is usually met with threats and intimidation. But there are some brave souls who are not willing to give up. They believe that there is more to the moon than meets the eye, and they're determined to uncover the truth. However, there is one thing that we do know. These structures are not from this world. They're not natural, and they were not built by humans. This much is obvious just from looking at them. The technology required to create something like this is far beyond anything that humans are capable of. This means that there are things happening on the moon that we don't know about. There are things that NASA is hiding from us. But why? What could they possibly be hiding? Well, only time will tell. It seems like NASA is hiding something big from us, something that has the potential to change everything we know about the moon and our place in the universe. What could it be? Well, let's keep watching to find out. You won't believe what NASA found on the dark side of the moon. It's absolutely shocking. What do you think NASA is hiding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And now for the final chapter of this incredible story. The closer we look at these mysterious black spots, the more we realize that there's something deeply disturbing going on here. Could this be evidence of an extraterrestrial presence on our moon? Or is there something else lurking in the shadows that NASA is desperate to hide from us? The implications of what we might be seeing here are truly staggering. Are we really alone in the universe, or are we being watched by something or someone beyond our understanding? The unsettling truth is that we may never know for sure. But one thing is certain, there's something on the dark side of the moon that we're not supposed to see, something that lies dormant, hidden from plain sight. As the final credits roll on this chilling tale, we're left with more questions than answers. What is really going on up there? And why are those in power so determined to keep it a secret? The unsettling feeling that something is out there, watching us from afar, lingers long after the film is over. And we're left to wonder just how much of this vast universe we're really meant to know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss out on our latest videos. And if you want to continue exploring the unknown, check out our other videos on all things mysterious and unexplained. You're sure to be captivated by the strange and unsettling tales that await you.